Before the Africa Twin existed, Honda had already created an untamable beast, the XL750, a V-twin trail bike with a shaft drive, an iron sole, and a spirit of adventure. In the 80s, they didn't know they were creating a legend, but they did. This is the story of the forgotten trail bike that was ahead of its time. In 1983, Honda launched the XLV750R on the market, a bike that, if you saw it at the dealership next to an XR600, you'd cross yourself. A big, wide, robust trail bike, not just in size, but in ideas too. Because Honda didn't come to copy anyone. No, sir. Honda came to create a new category, a large displacement trail bike with comfort for long distances, raw power, and zero transmission maintenance. And how did they do it? With a 45-degree V-twin heart, 749 cubic centimeters, mixed cooling, air and oil. Because Honda said, why not both? And a shaft drive transmission, like the German BMW GS, but coming from Japan with steroids and strong coffee. This engine had 2 overhead camshafts, SOHC per cylinder, 3 valves per cylinder, 2 intake and 1 exhaust, CDI ignition, and K-Hin carburetors. An engine designed to last a lifetime, even if it was hauling a camper behind it. The bike weighed over 220 kilos dry, and about 245 kilos with fluids, which, in the 80s, when real trail bikes weighed about as much as a bicycle on steroids, was like saying, I'm going to race the Dakar, but with a gold wing dressed up as an 10 XR. Even so, Honda designed it as a Dakar-inspired concept. Large tank, great range, dual front headlights, long and comfortable seat, suspension designed for long distances, and no chain maintenance required. What they wanted was a bike that could cross Africa without you having to clean or tighten anything, except maybe your expectations. And what did the world think? They looked at it as if Honda had unveiled an electric trail bike in 1983. People would say, is this an adventure bike? Where am I supposed to take it? On a ferry? But Honda was convinced. It was a futuristic idea, designed with a 20-year vision. The problem: the world wasn't ready. Honda had a vision, but one of those that seem like hallucinations when you look at it from the 80s. They wanted to go all in on the world of great journeys, the desert, the rocks, the scorching heat, and yes, the Paris-Dakar, which at that time was like the World Cup of motorcycles. Yamaha was killing it with the XT500, tough, simple, and capable of anything. BMW was already showing its teeth with the R80 GS, a pioneer of the big trail concept that could climb like a mountain goat. And the French, well, they were French. So they brought prototypes as strange as they were effective, with tractor-like suspensions and fuel tanks the size of tanker trucks. Then, at Honda, someone finally stood up in a meeting and said, what if we make a rally bike, but one that's absolutely, truly elegant, that doesn't leak oil everywhere, doesn't have a chain to worry about, doesn't sound like a noisy tractor, has real style, provides exceptional comfort, and actually goes even faster than rumors at a neighborhood barbecue. And that's how the XLV750R project was born. A large, luxurious trail bike, with shaft drive, a V-twin engine, Japanese design, but with a touch of Italian diva flair, and equipped to cross continents without needing to change the oil or tighten chains. They wanted a motorcycle that combined the adventurous spirit of off-road riding with the reliability of long-distance touring without sacrificing power or comfort. Something like if an Africa Twin, a Gold Wing, and an XR had a rebellious child. The problem was, in 1983, the world still wanted bikes with a single carburetor, or a kickstart, and a chain you cleaned with WD-40 and spit. No one was asking for a V-twin with shaft drive to go to the desert. And on top of that, Honda gave it red, white, and blue colors, with a seat as long as a sofa and dual front headlights that looked like they were stolen from a transformer. The result was a bike that was neither pure enduro, nor relaxed touring, nor a classic trail. It was a kind of GS. Before the GS was cool, only instead of coming with a German accent and beer in the trunk, It came with samurais, Japanese muscle, and painted like a Power Ranger ready to go to the Dakar. The Honda XLV750 was manufactured between 1983 and 1986. And when we say was manufactured, it's because saying it was sold would be a bit generous. In total, about 10,000 units were produced. Yes, that's all. And the vast majority was sent to the European market, especially to France, Germany, Switzerland, and a few enthusiasts in Belgium or Austria who wanted to try it out. The United States? They never even got a whiff of it. The Americans never even considered bringing it over because they knew that with that design, as you like anime on steroids, it just wouldn't work. And seriously, that's no joke. That look was a psychedelic trip. That rugged design looked like it came straight out of a Japanese robot from the 70s. The seat was so long you could fit 2 people and a dog. And the red, blue, and white paint job screamed, "I'm Honda, and I don't care what you think." But at its core, it was all muscle. A 45-degree V-twin with 749 cubic centimeters, dual overhead cams, 5 gears, and a shaft drive that gave it that BMW or Japanese Katana vibe. It didn't have a radiator. It used air and oil cooling, with huge fins on the engine, and a dry sump lubrication system with a double pump. It was complex technology, but reliable. So reliable that the engine was later reused in other models, like the BT750 Shadow. Now, the big problem, the weight. It weighed over 220 kilos ready to ride. And that's without saddlebags or a passenger. Off-road, it was like trying to haul a refrigerator over a sand dune. It would sink like a stone in the mud. In the city, it was a clumsy beast, with the turning radius of an old pickup, and so much heat that it would cook your legs if there was traffic. Only on long highways, with no curves or surprises, did it shine. Stable, comfortable, with that engine that pulled like a rice paddy tractor. But the problem? For that, there were already more comfortable touring bikes, with fairings, saddlebags, and backrests, like the Goldwing or the Yamaha Venture. And those looking for a dual sport wanted something light, agile, with a monoshock and chain like the XT600 or the DR. The result, nobody knew what to do with the XLV750. The Dakar purists saw it as a joke. The touring crowd couldn't understand why it didn't have a fairing. And mechanics didn't even want to look at it for fear of not being able to find parts. In the end, Honda said, "Well, nobody understood our work of art. We're taking it out of production." In 1986, a remarkable chapter in the world of Japanese motorcycle innovation quietly came to a close. This was the year that one of the most unusual and technologically advanced experiments ever undertaken by Honda reached its conclusion. The project in question was the XLV750, a motorcycle that would become known as the seed for a new era in adventure riding. The XLV750 was not just another model, it was Honda's first serious attempt to design and build a large, durable maxi trail bike, specifically crafted for riders who dreamed of long journeys and exploration. With its robust engineering, without it, the Africa Twin probably wouldn't have existed. It paved the way. It proved that you could make a trail bike with a shaft drive, that you could use a V-twin instead of the traditional single-cylinder, that you could travel with style and power. Unfortunately, he was born prematurely. It was like that brilliant student whom the system didn't know how to evaluate. It arrived 20 years before everyone wanted a big trail bike with a shaft drive, and by the time the world finally understood it, it was already gone. Today, the XLV750 is a legend. Not because of its sales, not because of its awards, but because of what it represented. It was the forerunner, the bike that dared to go against the current, the one that said, "I'm going to be different." And it was. And if you want to learn about its great modern heir, the Africa Twin, click on the video I'm leaving here and I'll see you there. Because the history of trail bikes, my friends, can't be understood without this forgotten gem from Honda.